Hello everyone. So today I'll be telling you some important graphs. Okay. So if I talk about graphs, two two subtopics it can be. Like first graph important is of quadratic, quadratic, and second important is of modulus. Okay. These two graphs learning is important. Basics is enough. Okay. So let us start with quadratic. Okay. Quadratic. Okay. I'll be not detailing that much concept. I'll be just telling you some quick ways to like how to draw it, how to do this. Okay, quickly. So let us start with any normal function of the graph. So if a graph is like y equal to ax square plus bx plus c, okay, then and a is not equal to 0, that's very obvious. Okay, so if a is positive, okay, if a is greater than 0, okay, then the graph will be in this sort of don't consider this right now. Graph will be upright, okay, like this. Okay, and if a becomes negative, then graph will be lower. Okay, this is x-axis, I mean this is x-axis, x-axis, x-axis. Okay, this will be lower bound. Okay, will face downwards, inverted graph. Now if I see, now if I be specific, like if I take the graph of y equal to say x square is for parabola, then like if I take this graph, then this will simply be like this is the parabola. Okay, right? Now how to remember? You can see that x value, x is getting squared, okay, squared, so y value will be decreasing in uncertain manners. That's why you can see that although this is increasing in this manner, but y value you can see is becoming up straight like this. Okay, so whoso इसका भी square हो रहा है, ठीक है, that has to be linear, and like y will become steeper, sort of, not steeper, if I say, will curve a lot. Like if I take the graph of x equal to y square, then in that case y will increase linearly like this, but see the value of x. Okay, see the graph of x, it is going in this way. Okay, so this is how you can remember. Okay, although both the sides like x square y is not needed, you should just generally know this. Okay, now if I take a graph like say shifting the origin, if I say not shifting origin right now, so if I subtract one from it, okay, then simply see, will the value of y be 0? Okay, now you can think, okay, whenever there is plus or minus 1 in this, okay, just think that uh, whenever y is x square plus or minus 1, only one thing which can happen, that it can either go up or go down. Okay, since coefficient of x square is a is greater than 0, okay, that's why I'm taking upright, I'm not taking inverted. Okay, so it can go up or it can go down. Okay, so it will depend. Okay, see, can the value of y be negative? Is it possible? Yes, if you put x equal to 0. Okay, so this will go down. Okay, so this will go in like this. Okay, had this been plus, so the origin would have shifted and would have been like this. Okay, so this is like some of the uh, quadratic graphs. If the coordinates are changed, if the general form is changed, then how you should plot this. Okay, now coming to shifting of origin part. Okay, let us erase this first. Suppose the graph has now been now given to us, that value is given to us as y equal to x minus 3 whole square. Okay, now just think, uh, at what value will y be 0? Okay, simply plotting can help. Okay, simply plotting at what value will y be 0, that is x equal to 3, it will be 0, right? So its symmetric point or critical point, if I say, will be at this particular point. So its origin has shifted to this now. Okay, now in this concept, if I mix the plus 1 and minus 1 concept, will you able to plot this? I hope so, you will be able to. If it is getting plus, can the value of y be ever be negative? Just think, no, not possible. So this will simply go up. I have already told you it will either go up or go down, so this will be something like this. Okay, now similarly, had this been in minus, so graph would have been shifted down. Okay, so this is all about quadratic. Like I don't want to dig that deeper in this, and digging that deeper is also not that important. Okay? So this is all about quadratic. Coming to modulus, it is a bit more important, so let us go for the modulus part as well. Okay, modulus, this is quite similar to quadratic, quite similar. Okay, only the thing is that in quadratic you are getting a curvature sort of figure, curve. Okay, here you will get some straight lines. The reason is very obvious, modulus without a square. Okay, I'm talking about without a square modulus. Okay, and the thing is, that's why you'll get a pretty straight if this. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you basics. Okay, had the question is mod x, so simply in that case graph will be this. Okay, uh this was all about plus mod x. Let me see other questions as well. Now, as I told you for the quadratic, okay, now the question, suppose if I change it to mod of x minus 4, minus 1. Okay, just think, this is y obviously. Okay, just think what it will be. Okay, can the at what value will the, what value can y be 0, or at what value? So this y can be 0 at, if this becomes 1 then only it will be 0, right? If this becomes 1 at 5, okay, so at 5 it can be 0. uh, we have a mod, so minus 1 also will make it 1 only, so other value is 3, right? 3 will also make this whole value of y as 0. Okay, now think, the lowermost value possible for y is what? Okay, max possible value of this is, minimum possible value of this is 0. So when this is minimum, we will get overall minimum. So this can be minus 1. So, okay, so y can be minimum minus 1. Okay, so it can be minimum minus 1. At what x? That's very obvious that it will be in between, but you can check as well. Okay, so for this to be minus 1, we need to make this as 0. So it will be at what value? It will be at 4. Okay, so at 4, x equal to 4, y is 0. Okay, now simply you have to just plot and graph. Okay, now if I generalize things, if you don't want to take that time, simply like this is 4, this you have to make 0, at that point is the minimum, and then you will have to draw that, you have to take the lowermost point, and then you can draw it like this. Okay, only in the case this x is without a coefficient, okay, remember, then only it will be quite easy graph. Easy, I mean that very straight, not that much angle should be taken into mind. Had there been some coefficient, then the angles would change. Okay, let me check other question if I have any. Mm, yes, I can, the part which I was discussing right now. Okay, like if the graph is y equal to 4 minus mod of 2x minus 3, right? Now think what can be, do we, can we have a max value of y, or can we have a min value of y? Okay, so think like in this case we were discussing, this will, wait, I'll write it neatly again. Y equal to mod of x minus 4 minus 1. Okay, this will keep on increasing. So do we get a max of y? No, it will go on till infinite. But at a point we have a minus 1 over here, this can minimum be 0, so we can get a minimum of y, right? Because it won't go negative now, like if had it been going negative, then we won't get negative as well. But we know that at a point x equal to 4, this will become 0, and below that value won't go. Okay, so that will be the minimum for us. Okay, so we can determine negative for this particular expression, minimum value for this. Okay, if we think over here, this will keep on increasing. Okay, so this will keep on increasing, this will keep on, this is constant. Okay, so keeping on decreasing will result in overall value to of y to decrease, right? Which means that we cannot find minimum, right? Because this will keep on increasing, and we will have 4 minus something, this is a constant term, so decreasing. So minimum we cannot find, so in this case we can find maximum. Okay, now maximum can be what? Maximum is only possible when this particular thing becomes its minimum, right? Because we are subtracting something from 4. Okay, so maximum is only possible when this becomes 0. Okay, so this will become 0 at x equal to 3 by 2. Okay, this will become 0, so that we have to plot, and we'll get a maximum point for that. Now since we have 2 for this, so this slope will be little changed. Okay, like this sort of figure. Okay, this will be like this. Simply you will plug in values and can check later on. So these are some of the things which you should know about the modulus graphs. Okay, basically now I'm telling you quickly what all things you need to do when plotting graph. Okay, x equal to y, you need to find y equal to 0, you need to find x. Okay, this thing is very important, and check for origin as well. These are some of the stuffs which are important while making graph. Okay, these are enough. Okay, so I hope everything is clear now.